Hello, everybody. This is Purvi Gandhi. I'm a speech language pathologist, and I have been working for past 14 years and have my own private practice at Oyster Bay, New York. Before I start, I wanted to wish everybody a very happy New Year. And today we are actually going to discuss about what do you expect in a baby or an infant in terms of his speech, language, and play skills. Before we start talking in detail about the speech and language developmental milestones for ages birth to 1 year old, I wanted to first talk about what a language is. Language is divided into three different parts. It's the receptive language, the expressive language, and the pragmatic language. The receptive language involves the understanding of language. So if somebody is talking to you, how do you perceive and understand the language? That's the receptive part. The expressive language relates to how you express yourself, and the pragmatic language skills is also similar as play or social skills, which involves how you use your language. So, hi Anu, how are you? So we'll be talking about those three language skills in infant from birth to 12 months of age group. Language and play skills go hand in hand, so every child will develop his or her language skills or play or social skills at their own rate. So you want to make sure your child may or may not have all those skills until the end of that particular age range. Just because a child does not have the skills, what I'm going to talk about, doesn't mean that your child has a speech and language delay. And it also applies the same way. If you find your child is not cooing or not showing the skills which are appropriate for that age group, and you think it's kind of like a red flag, I would definitely go ahead and evaluate the child. So we're going to begin from the age group from birth to 3 months of age. First, we're going to talk about the receptive language skills. Your child will be, some of the things you will see at that age in terms of the receptive languages, the child will be startled at loud sounds. So if there's a big bang or a big drum noise or somebody turns on the vacuum, you'll see a little startle in the baby. You'll see like the baby sleeping and just all of a sudden will be startled. Or you'll see the hands move or the eyes like wide open. You will see the baby quiets down or smiles when you talk to them. So if the mom or the dad approaches the baby, and as you're talking to the baby, you'll see the baby will give a smile, he'll smile at you, or will quiet down if the baby is crying. You will also see the baby will be able to recognize your voice and will quiet down if they're crying. They will smile when you talk. So these are some of the skills you will see from birth to 3 months of age group. Now in terms of the expressive language skills, some of the things you will notice are the baby starts to make cooing sounds. Cooing is basically an infant producing sounds that are very similar to vowels. So like ooh, ah, those are the sounds you're going to hear when you approach the baby. When the mom or a parent interacts with the baby, when a parent has like a face-to-face interaction with an infant, those are some of the things you're going to see with the baby. The baby's just going to go, ooh, ah, as you're talking to the baby. You will also see the baby's vocalizing to get your attention. Also, you'll see the baby smiles at people when somebody comes closer to their face, because at that age, the baby can't see too far of a distance. So when you come closer, you will see the baby smiling at you. You will also notice baby's crying pattern is different for different things. So the crying is going to change according to their needs. For example, if the baby is tired, the crying pattern is going to be different from the baby when the baby is hungry. So you'll see all those different things in terms of the expressive language part. In terms of the play and social skills, some of the things you will see is baby will start establishing eye contact for a few seconds, will be able to smile when socially approached, and is also able to play with a rattle if the baby is able to have a good grasp of the object. So these are some of the things you're going to see from birth to 3 months of age. Now we're going to move on from 3 months to 4 to 6 months of age group. Now, starting with the receptive language skills, these are some of the things you're going to see in an infant. You'll see the baby moves his or her eyes in the direction of the sound, So if you're playing a rattle, if you're playing a musical toy, you'll see baby moving the eye towards the sound. The baby is going to respond to changes in the tone of your voice. So if you're approaching the baby, if you're happy, you can see the baby smile at you, or you can see the different changes, how they're able to respond to your voices. You will see the baby notices toys that make sounds like rattles, or the musical toys, or the light and sound toys when you're playing with the baby. You will see the baby paying attention to those sounds. Baby also loves to enjoy, they pay attention to music. So I know my son used to play with those little drums where you could just touch it and it would make a noise. So those kinds of instruments are very useful and great while working with little kids, and you'll see the baby enjoys that and loves that attention. You will see also the infants trying to reach for objects. They'll be able to bang objects together, like shake to rattles or bang them together. You will see the pop-up toys where the baby is able to hold and push it down and it opens up. So these are some of the things you're going to see in terms of the receptive language skills. Now moving on to the expressive language part from 4 to 6 months of age group. The baby is still going to continue cooing, and now they're going to transition to another phase called babbling. Babbling is now divided into two types of babblings. One is the reduplicated babbling and one is the non-reduplicated babbling. First, we're going to talk only about the reduplicated babbling, which you see from the age group 4 to 6 months of age. Here the baby makes combination of like a consonant vowel sound. So it's going to be like a ba 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 ba, da 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 da, ga ga ga, like a CV combination sounds. So you will hear a lot of those sounds when baby's playing by himself or herself or with you. You will also see the baby giggles and laughs. Makes sounds when the baby is happy or when they're upset. They often are seen responding to their own names at this age. So these are some of the skills you will notice at the age group from 4 to 6 months of age. Babbling is extremely important because babbling is a pre-linguistic skill which happens before the development of real language and speech. So if you notice the baby is not babbling enough or is babbling and then stops babbling altogether, I would be a little concerned and definitely would, get the child evaluated or talk about it to a pediatrician, make sure everything is age appropriate. In terms of the play and social skills at this age, the baby is able to manipulate and explore different objects, will laugh and respond to play, and will often you'll see they're taking vocal turns with each, like if the parent is approaching the child, you'll see the baby is vocalizing back and forth and has a two-way interaction. Now, some of the sounds which you will notice at this age from birth to 3 are like P sounds, the B, the M, the bilabials we call them because we're using the lips to produce those sounds. So like pa pa pa, ba ba ba, mama mama, da 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 da. Often, the baby says da 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 and everybody says, oh, they're saying daddy, daddy, So you'll see those kinds of babbling starting at that age group. Next, we're going to go to age group of 7 months to 1-year-old. In terms of the receptive language skill, the baby is going to turn and look in the direction of the sound, will look when you point to different things in the house, will turn to you when you call his or her name. So if the baby's lying and you call out the name, they're going to look at you or look for where the noise is coming from. They're able to understand words for common items. For example, if I say you want mum or you want juice or you want wawa, wawa is usually water, they will be able to understand and comprehend what I'm trying to say. Baby will start to respond to use simple words and start to comprehend simple words like no, no touch, come here, do you want more, give me. Those are some of the things you're going to notice at that age group. A baby enjoys listening to songs and stories for a short period of time. They like to be with the people. They want to be in a company of people. You will also notice they respond to bye-bye. They are able to attend to simple pictures. When you're reading simple books, the baby is able to look at the pictures and attend to them. They are beginning to understand simple question. If mommy is working in the kitchen or daddy went to office, or where's daddy, and they're going to start looking or searching for them. So they start to understand basic questions, what and where, those kind of questions. They also begin to understand directions, give me. So if I say give me the cup or give me the toy, the baby is able to follow the simple direction. They're also able to point to simple body parts. Often you'll see the parents often go with head, shoulder, knees, and toes. You're playing the simple songs and they're able to follow those directions and imitate you. It's a great skill. Next, we're going to go to the expressive language part for the age group 7 months to 1 year of age. At this age, you'll see baby uses a few gestures to get and keep attention. They often participate in games with adults which require gestures like peekaboo or pat a cake, those kinds of simple things. They like to participate in songs with adults by vocalizing. They often, as we were talking about the babbling, the reduplicated babbling, now they go on to the stage which is called as non-reduplicated babbling, where babbling will take place not only in a CV combination, but you'll see a different CV combinations, like a CVC sequences, like peep, beep, agoo, mum, 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 mum. Those are the different sounds you're going to hear at this age. And there's going to be a long string of sounds like me, up, up, those kinds of things. Babbling will begin to take on tones and inflection of the adult speech, even though words are still not real. It will seem like the baby is trying to imitate or answer your question in a certain pattern or tone, but those are not real words. Those are more like a jargon. So jargon words begin as early as 8 months and go up to 2 years of age group. It's just like nonsense words, or it sounds like real words. Their babies just basically practicing and getting ready to produce new words. They're practicing their motor skills to produce those sounds. You will also see the baby likes to perform or repeat actions to get attention. They also imitate different speech sounds, like if you're doing Old MacDonald had a farm, the baby will go, baby will be able to repeat, the cow goes moo, 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 or the sheep goes ba, ba, ba. So those kinds of sounds they're able to imitate after you. They're also able to say simple 1 or 2 words like hi, or dog, or ka for car, or dada, mama, or if something falls down, they're going to go uh-oh. Those kinds of simple things you'll be able to notice in terms of the expressive language part. Next, we're going to go to their play and social skills. The baby is able to clap when prompted. Spontaneously, they're able to lift the arms to tell you, carry me, those kinds of things you'll see with them. They are also able to extend toys to others. They'll spontaneously come and give you the toy. They'll respond to your facial expression, play simple games like peekaboo. At this stage, you will also notice that they will be searching for hidden objects, what we call as object permanence. Basically, that means the child is able to understand that the object continues to still exist, even though they're not able to see it. For example, if I'm playing with a toy and I go and hide it under the pillow, and then I'm like, oh, where is the toy? Where is the cup? Can you go find it? Those kinds of things. And they are able to understand that the object is still there. It's just, you just don't see it. So those things develop at this age. Also, you will notice in terms of joint attention span. Joint attention is when 2 people focus on something at one time. So, for example, I'm sitting and reading a book with my boy, and then we point to the objects, but we're looking at the same time. So we're pointing and reading at the same time. Or I'm blowing bubbles and we are popping the bubbles together. So I'm trying, he's trying to attend and I'm trying to attend to the same task. So that's mainly called joint attention span. They're also able to shift the gaze between the object and the adult. So what happens when a baby makes an eye contact and then looks at the same object that the other person is looking at? For example, the baby comes to my office, the baby is wearing a shirt full of dinosaurs, and I'm like, oh, what's that on your shirt? Is that a dinosaur? So baby goes back and looks at the shirt and goes, yeah, a dinosaur. That's called your ability to shift the gaze. These are very important precursors in terms of not only psychology, but also in terms of language skills. So these are some of the things you're going to see at this age group. The baby is also able to play with the toys without mouthing or banging them. So you'll see at previous age groups, the baby will grasp anything and put everything in the mouth. That's the way they feel, that's the way they want to touch. They don't know what it is. But as they're getting older, as they're going towards 9-10 months of age group, you will see they're able to play more appropriately. They're not just banging the toys or putting everything in their mouth. They're also able to imitate adult action. So if I'm playing a song, the wheels on the bus go round and round, the baby will be able to imitate my action and follow through the song. The baby resist the removal of the toy. So what it means is if I take some toy away, the baby is going to fight me. The baby is going to get upset or cry, and they don't like that. You'll also see the baby likes to play with toys more purposefully at this age. So we'll be able to line up the cars and play with the cars. We'll be able to push the cars. We'll be able to stir with the help of a spoon and pretend, they're cooking. So these are some of the skills you'll be able to see from 7 months to 1 year of age group. Now, what are different things you can do to help a child at home? The first and most important thing, even before you bring the baby home, make sure the child have had a hearing screening. You just want to make sure the baby is able to pay attention, is able to listen to any sounds. It's very important for them to develop language. Pay attention to any kind of ear problems or ear infections, and make sure there's no hearing loss or any conductive hearing loss going on, and baby's not able to listen to what you're saying. Look for head turn towards the noise, or look at when you talk at the baby. Always make eye contact when you're talking to the baby. Always use more facial expressions, animated expressions, just to be able to communicate with the baby. Talk to your child, imitate the sound they're making. So the baby's going ba 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 ba, you go play with the baby and you go ba 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 ba. Just have like a vocal turn taking going on. Imitate the actions like peekaboo, waving bye bye, clap your hands. Take turns imitating. So, bye-bye, baby. The baby will say bye-bye. So keep, imitate the actions. Work on those skills to help build up the language. Talk about the things you see in an environment. What do you do with it? Who do they see? You can have a little album with the family pictures, like of mom, of dad, of a baby brother, or a pet, or grandma, grandpa. And you can go over through that family album and point to people and see who they are. What do you do? Or when you're cooking in the kitchen, you can talk about what you're doing. Oh, mommy's cooking mac and cheese for you today. I'm gonna add milk, or you want to drink milk. All those things. Just talk about what you think, what are you doing, the things around you. If you're going out to the park, and you can talk about the kids playing, you can talk about the slide, the swing, wherever you are. Just expose the baby more. Also, read every day to your child. It's very important to read to your child. That's how they develop language. They listen to it. They're able to attend. They're able to take turns, point to pictures, label them, teach them animal sounds, simple, silly sounds. It could be anything. And also, the most important thing is to use your most comfortable language. So just be comfortable the way you're talking to the baby. You don't, I know if that's not your mother tongue, and if you're not comfortable using that, if you're comfortable using your own language, be comfortable and expose the child to that language. It's very important. Just be comfortable with the language you use to that child. These are some of the things you would expect in terms of the speech and language milestones and play skills from birth to 12 months of age. Thank you for watching my video, and please feel free to ask any questions. Hi Cecilia, hi Bella, hey Michelle, hi Vaishu. Let me go back and look at some of the questions. Amit, I work with the pediatric population, so it's from birth to high school. And what kind of patients do you teach? The patients could be delayed speech and language. It could be articulation disorder. It could be autistic child. There's a variety of disorders. Hi Cecilia, how are you? Thanks Anu, thanks Amit. Do you have any questions? Do you want to know anything about in terms of what you want to expect at that particular age group? Thank you, Cecilia. How are you? I'm going to do another Facebook Live video in 2 weeks, and there we're going to talk about speech and language developmental milestones from 1 to 3 years of age group. So please feel free to log on again. Also, the presentation I just did and spoke about the developmental milestones from birth to 12 months of age group. I also have my blog talking about those skills already on my webpage. So you can always log on to Purvi Gandhi's Speech Language Pathology Services, and under the blog section you'll find more information. Hi Laura, how are you? Please feel free to text me or email me. My email address is purvi@pgspeechtherapy.com. If you have any questions or you need more information, I'm glad to help you out with that. Hi Laura, how are you? Missed you. It's nice to see you too. Take care, everybody, and have a great weekend. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Laura. Thank you so much. Did you go back again to Florida, or are you still in New York, Laura? Goodbye, everybody. Take care. Have a great weekend.